Speedway Pulse Media is partnered with Pele Motorsports.
That's right. We're an official marketing agency for Sam Paley and Paley Motorsports. If you're willing to get on a fast race car that can win some races, contact us. We'll get you right in touch with Sam. Why wait? Reach millions through motorsports today with Paley Motorsports.
No better way to get involved.
Right. I agree with that. Now, Wyman, what did you say we found out today about Genesis?
Yeah, so as you know, today was the media day before the 24 hours of Le Mans. Practice starts tomorrow. So Genesis says that their official announcement's going to be coming out most likely tomorrow ahead of practice one, that Genesis is looking to add a GT3 car as early as next year into 28, which I think that's, the sports car racing, more brands want to get involved in GT racing, I think is a great thing. On the
Right.
same topic with Genesis, with the announcement just about a month ago of Acura pulling out at IMSA, Genesis is saying at earliest we could see their hypercar in at 2028, but there's a slight possibility right now that we could see them at Petit Le Mans next year.
Right. And that's the only reason why that we wouldn't be able to see them is because of Acura pulling out. It's going to take Acura time to get out. Obviously, we know they're going straight out this year. But at the
Yep.
same time, they got to get their car built. It's the same situation with Ford, and why they're not in hypercar this year is they announced
And
it
McLaren.
late, right? And they announced it late last year, and then for McLaren early this year. There's no time for them to get a car built in time in order to have it
I know
ready for this year, unfortunately. But like you
McLaren's
say,
already been on track, and we know Ford by August, about middle of August, we should see it on track. And expect another announcement this week at Le Mans. There's a lot of rumors around going around that Matt Campbell, Porsche factory driver, could be moving there, and Mike Conway could be leaving Toyota to go to Ford. And if
right? We
Mike Conway does leave Toyota, it's pretty well confirmed that we will be seeing Kevin Estre leaving Porsche.
right, and like you say, obviously, there's one other thing about that we know of. And that is the fact of the matter that you got to run two cars in hypercar. They've only announced
Yep.
a lineup for one hypercar. So next year we could see Logan Sargent possibly in that second hypercar, just throwing out a name.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the first car that's announced, him, Rockefeller and Prio.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
yeah, so we're waiting on Ford at Detroit said that we've got at least one more driver signed. We're waiting on two more. And it's the kind of same deal with McLaren. We're seeing a lot of people testing the car. You're seeing Richard Verschoor on their two of their F1 reserve drivers, Verschoor and then Gregor Saucy. That's one of their P2 drivers. So
Right.
there's a
And
lot of people they're testing out, looking to see who could be the face for their team in the next few years. And it's an exciting time for prototype racing.
right. And like you'd say, honestly, me personally, I'd love to see Nikita Johnson have a opportunity to at least drive that
Absolutely.
car to see. Because I mean, you look at what he's done this year in IndyCar. Or Indy Next rather. He dominated pretty much every race except for the ovals
He's
this year.
he's
But
done
I
really well
mean,
this year.
whenever you look at hindsight, I mean, definitely a stable driver. Already running for McLaren with Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan, so it's only the next step
Exactly.
forward to move to Arrow McLaren, and then right there at the front door is
And
literally that hypercar.
I know Zach Brown has said that they want to enter a car, and no better way than to put it with the Rahal team there. They're doing, it's their first year at the car, but they've showed a lot of speed throughout the races this year, especially the endurance races. And what's
Right,
our
and
next round? Watkins Glen, another endurance race.
speaking of Letterman, Lanigan, Letterman, whatever, Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan.
Rahal
There we
Letterman.
go. There we go. What Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan. We saw this week they announced they're running a car in SRO here at Road Atlanta, which you'll be at. And
Yeah, we got
we've already got in touch with both of the drivers, or excuse me, not Ray Hall,
Brian
BHA,
Herta.
Brian Herta.
Yeah, Brian
But
Herta.
they already said that they're down to do some media with us. So I mean,
Yeah,
you'll be expecting to see some good stuff coming out of this weekend
we
with
got.
three really guaranteed interviews if you count Jensen Altzman, because I mean we know Jensen's going to hop on
I
regardless.
know also McLaren Tanner Harvey, who is kind of
That's right.
unknown to a lot of people. This is his second year in McLaren Trophy, but he's been running that Creventic 24-hour series and just was on the podium at Paul Ricard over the weekend. That's
Right.
a young driver I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of in the next few years. Road Atlanta's gonna be a good weekend. We got some really great talent between all the series. So I'm expecting some really good content coming out the weekend.
Right, and like you say, I mean, obviously switching to the other foot now, I guess you could say. Today marks interview 43 for Speedway Pulse Media. I mean, just huge to see where we've came.
Absolutely.
We're at the iconic 43 now, so I mean, we're chasing that 50, if you ask me. I mean,
I think we're gonna have 50
ideally,
before the end of the summer.
that that's that's
That's
officially the
kind of
goal
the
is 50
goal.
before the end of summer, and we got at the time of us recording this, we got 44 tomorrow. I'm not saying the name, but
Yeah,
we have 44 tomorrow, and then we know we have 45 next week as well.
we got two next week.
And 45 is a very key number to interview 45, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm really excited about 45. 46 looks to be Friday. That's gonna be a pretty exciting one. It's gonna be a series that we've been having a lot of this year.
Right. No.
It's a manufacturer we like a lot. I'll just give that hint. I'm not gonna say any names or anything yet, but it's a manufacturer we have a lot of connections with. It's an American brand. That's as far as we'll go. That's
Yeah.
as far as we're gonna.
Obviously,
That's as
and
far
if
as we're gonna give
everyone,
you any tease.
well, we'll give a little bit more of a tease. If you know what manufacturer we pretty much teamed up with the whole year, you know what manufacturer this dude's driving.
Yeah,
Hint, Blue Oval.
but
And if you can't figure out from the Blue Oval hint, then
might need to go back into archive just a little bit.
right.
Start
Start with Jensen Alsman.
or
Better
even
yet,
far
I'm about to
Sam.
say better yet, start with Sam Paley. Perfect
That
example.
that
And really and truly, that was both of them in the same car.
yeah. I hope to see them back in the same car in the coming years. I think it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, 100% sure. But as we said, interview 43, we got a great Lamborghini Super Trofeo driver. And I mean, at an amazing team that's done so much for us already this year in Wayne Taylor Racing.
Absolutely.
We have Nick Persing coming back on the show with us. Well, he's coming on the show.
Had a
We
little
had already
technical
pre-recorded
difficulty.
one and had a little bit of technical difficulty, and so we're gonna rerun this one for y'all. And really hope y'all enjoy this one because I mean Nick's been great to us. His little
Yeah.
brother Ryan, we just had him on the show. So
Just had a huge announcement for him yesterday.
right, and then he's running full season rest of the year with Paley Motorsports, with the exception of one weekend miss, but we can understand it. He graduated from high school, so I
Yeah.
don't think he was too pleased with it. By the way, he made the Instagram caption, but it is what it is.
Him and they'll be at Watkins, I think, next week testing ahead of the
Right.
weekend. So the rest of the season's gonna be new tracks for him he's never been to. So it's gonna be really exciting to see how he gets up to grips with some really great tracks coming up.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I mean,
Wa-
I don't think he'll have problems with it. I mean,
I don't either.
I know Nick's gonna hate us for saying this, and Ryan's gonna probably watch this video, but Nick already said that he was the better of the two Persing brothers. But
Yeah, well,
so we'll really see how well Ryan can handle the task. I'm not worried about it at all. I mean,
no, he's done
we've
really well.
we've seen him enough at the racetrack between him and Chris Clark. I mean, those two guys can figure it out, and Sam is
Oh,
the driver
absolutely.
coach. So
No better it's two organizations. No better two you could be partnered with, AAG or
right, I
Paley.
mean, you look at AAG, look at their success in the MX5 Cup. You look at Paley
Absolutely.
Motorsport. We were on a car in Le Mans with Paley Motorsport.
Two podiums.
Two podiums. That two
And
second place finishes.
he was on the podium every race last season in or in Mustang Challenge except Road America race when we had a brake failure.
Right.
The lowest he
But
finished was if you count that race, the lowest finish was second.
right. So as we say, I mean, let's roll right on into it and let's get Nick on the show with us.
Absolutely. Might want to pause that. There we go.
What's up, guys? Sorry.
What's up,
And
Nick?
Nick,
Just had to take a shower. I was just playing some hockey. So I wanted to
Oh
make
yeah.
sure I looked somewhat decent.
oh yeah, you're
Is
good.
it better if I turn my phone this way for you guys for the video? Yeah.
If it'll rotate it
Yeah.
somehow. Oh,
All
I
right.
can. I can figure out how to edit it and make it rotate or something. Oh yeah, let's just go
There
that
we go.
way.
Yeah.
Oh
There we
yeah,
go.
they're
There we
perfect.
go. There it fits.
All right, sweet. Yeah, let's do this over again. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're good. No worries. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. What was your start in racing?
Um, Same as pretty much everywhere else. Oh, hang on, I gotta get a phone charger, guys. Um, Same as pretty much everyone else, honestly. I um did go-karting growing up. My dad bought me a go-kart when I was young. Well, actually, he bought it for himself. Um, and then he couldn't take me out of it. So, yeah, it was pretty much the same as everybody else. Um, and so yeah, really like just growing up, I did go-karting for a little bit. Um, Forgot exactly how many years to be honest, and I still do it as much as I can. Um, but oh my gosh, more distractions, sorry. Um, and then yeah, I transitioned into cars when I was 15. Did the Formula car stuff for a couple years, and then yeah, made my way into GT cars eventually.
Also, it's pretty cool to transition, seeing going from karts to formula cars to radicals to GT cars. Talk about the transition going from each. Obviously, I know they all drive a little differently, but did you find a lot of challenge swapping between or m moving up between the different ones?
Honestly, yes, I did. Like the Formula cars drive very similar to the Radical. So learning to adapt between those wasn't as difficult. I came from um, American Formula 3 or Formula Regionals is what it's called now, but I came from that series. And then transitioning from that to the Radical, it was a step down in speed in terms of like straight line speed. Oh my gosh, one keeps falling over. It was a step down in like straight line speed, but as far as the handling, it had a lot more downforce, and so it was kind of different, but it was still a you know fairly easier transition. But where it got really difficult was honestly the transition from the radical into the sports cars. Just because the Lamborghini is such a unique car, it made it difficult, honestly, to um, like basically I had to kind of relearn how to drive. It drives so differently. And one thing is I grew up doing a lot of like single speed karting. Like I race K100, that's a big class right now. Did X30 for a little bit too, and it's almost kind of like those are a little bit more formula car style. But really, I started taking up the shifter kart racing, semi recently because the way the GT car drives is just like a lot more aggressive. Like you basically like really have to like wring the neck in the thing to actually get a lap time out of it, especially in qualifying and stuff like that. Or at least, that's how the Lamborghini drives. And so, yeah, it's just a very different style than I was used to. And it took me a little bit to get up to speed, honestly. But I'm there now, right? And that's what matters.
All right, and like you say, obviously, you've been doing a lot of the Formula Four and stuff, kind of like we just mentioned on, but kind of with the Lamborghini, you driving a Lamborghini, obviously it's got way more down, or I guess you could say way less downforce rather than a Formula Four car would. Kind of hit on that and how that driving style, whenever it comes straight from, I guess you could say a super high downforce car to a GT car, which has little to, I mean, it does have some downforce, but
Yeah,
very
it
little.
does. Yeah, yeah. It's it's difficult honestly because you kind of have to learn how to rely more on the tire grip for sure. Um but when there's certain situations where you do need to know how to use the downforce like in for example like high commitment corners like turn 6 at Laguna or the kink at Road America, right? Like, you're pretty flat out in a lot of like formula cars through there. Um, but and then same like at Laguna Seca, that the downhill after the corkscrew, like it's those high speed, high commitment corners that really like driving the formula car honestly taught me a lot about how to use the downforce and essentially like trust the car through those corners. Um, and it's honestly paid off. Like I think I'm one of the better drivers when it comes to those types of like tracks that do require that high commitment. And so yeah, it's a pretty like it's a really weird feeling, you know what I mean? Like you're literally trusting air to like hold you to the ground, right? And
Right.
it's like it's a really like weird sensation that you kind of get in the car and just like learning how to trust that sensation and not only trust it but like maximize it and how to like keep the platform balanced because there's a lot that goes into like balancing that aero load that's going over the car, right? So just learning how to balance all that is honestly the most difficult part, and the formula car stuff definitely taught me a lot about that I've carried into the GT car racing now, right? So
Right now, you've been partnered with WTR. That's one of the biggest teams in the world in sports car racing. How pivotal was that to get partnered with such a great team and such great crew and drivers, getting to grips with something you were never used to coming into?
it was a lot to get used to, honestly. Like the first weekend that I showed up, it was kind of surreal. Like, because I grew up watching Wayne Taylor racing, like on TV and everything. I knew who they were, obviously. Like, if you're in racing, who doesn't know who they are? And yeah, it was a pretty like surreal moment. And honestly, like, I just felt like I had this big opportunity in front of me, and so I basically didn't want to shy away from it, right? I didn't like I tried not to I tried to turn it into not like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure. I'm on this big team, like everything like that. It was more so of like I tried to view it as, oh, I have this great team behind me. I don't really have anything to worry about. And so and honestly with the way the team was ran too, like it just gave me so much confidence, right? Because like I never have to worry about the car ever. Like it's like I just get in and drive. And that's the only thing I really have to worry about is myself, right? Like the team does such a good job getting us good setups, making sure the car runs perfect before every single race that I'm never worried about that. Like I can just drive the car. And so like, just gaining, experience with the team, like that's just kind of things that I learned over time. And um it yeah, it really pays off when all you have to do is worry about the driving, right? So
Right.
definitely makes it easy.
Right. And like you say, obviously, not having to worry about whether you're going to have a mechanical issue or not is definitely key when any series coming into racing. But like you say, obviously, the main thing you just have to do is get out, hey, this could be tweaked a little bit, this could be tweaked a little bit, and then it's there you go. You don't got to worry about it anymore. And then you get back in the car and it's like, okay, they fixed it. Perfect. But kind of hit on how that team morale is at Wayne Taylor.
It's great, honestly. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a very serious environment, right? Like they take everything seriously and they like expect, you know, I wouldn't say they like expect a lot out of the drivers, but like at the same time they kind of do. You know what I mean? Like you need to be doing
Yeah,
your job because they always do their job. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's kind of how it works. Like everybody does their job, and then after that we get to have fun. You know what I mean? Like it is such a great group of people that I get to work with. Like I don't think I've ever like really been pissed off at the racetrack over anything. Like it's always like I go always show up to the track with a smile on my face because it's just such a good team. I've gotten to know everybody on the team so well over the past couple of years too. Like it's honestly been a great experience. Like I honestly can't thank them enough for like taking me under their wing and letting me be on their team because yeah, it's just a great experience every time you go to the track. Everything's going to get done and you're going to have a perfect race car, but then, because of that and because we're winning races, everybody's having fun, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a great place to be.
I think you got some of the best teammates and co-driver in the business. Look what Danny's done just with Lamborghini in his own. You got Hampus Ericsson, who's really making a name right now. Al Mori. Graham Doyle's been really strong. So it's great to know that you got good people you can lean on to feed data back and forth off of.
Yeah, and like honestly too, like there's sometimes you go into a team and it can kind of be like a toxic environment where like nobody really wants to share information with each other. Like everybody's there to kind of beat each other, and I've been in those situations before, and it kind of sucks. But the thing that's awesome is like, Danny's the fastest driver on the grid, but he doesn't hold anything back. Like he wants everybody else to be just as good as him. Like he pushes all of us. Like he's honestly really kind of taken me under his wing these past couple of years and like worked with me a lot. Um, and he's been like a huge mentor, honestly, to me. Like he has so much knowledge that he just shares with the entire team, and it makes us all better. And now I've finally gotten to the point where I can kind of like share my feelings with him. Like if I feel the car is a certain way or something like that, like he takes my feedback in as well because now I've gotten to the point where, I'm quick enough to understand the car. I've had enough time in the car now. And it's the same thing with Hampus. Like me and him both want to win this championship really bad, and we don't hold anything back from each other because we push ourselves to be, like the best that we can be on the track, right? And so it's honestly like just a great environment between the team. And then, Al is new this year and James too. And they've been a great addition and like same sort of thing. Like they work with us, we work with them. And then of course Graham, like that kid's come so far. I mean, he's not really a kid anymore, but when he came in, he was a kid. Um, and he like seeing his improvement because of, like same thing. Danny like has worked with him a ton too, right? And it's just been great um like seeing how much progression like we all make throughout a season basically because everybody's just kind of pushing each other to be the best, right?
Right. And like you say, obviously, having that being said with Danny and all that, wanting to be the mentor to you in Super Trofeo and stuff, kind of recap how your first year was in Super Trofeo and what you learned from Danny and how you applied that to now teach Hampus.
I wouldn't really say that I'm teaching Hampus much of anything, to be honest. Like we teach each other, you know what I mean? He came from a different background than I did. He did Porsche Carrera Cup for a while in Europe. I came from, more Formula car sided stuff. And so we have very different styles. And sometimes we'll show up to a track and his style like is working way better than mine. And I have to learn how to drive it like him, right? Or we show up to a track, like Laguna. I know that track pretty well. And like I'm showing stuff to him, right? And so I wouldn't say that I'm teaching him anything, to be honest. I mean, he's a incredibly fast driver. Um, but yeah, it's honestly great. Like it's Danny. When I first came into the team, I think I kind of had these moments of like where I showed my pace and like what my potential be would be, and I think that's kind of what Danny saw, and I think that's also kind of why he, you know, worked with me a lot on just how to drive the car properly. And we also like got along great too. You know what I mean? He was a go-karter guy. I didn't really know him, to be honest. He was a little bit older than me. Always kind of was like racing a class ahead of me. And also he was a lot better of a go-karter than I was, So, I didn't know him super well, but he knew I came from a go-karting background. And I think that's kind of why we like spoke each other's language. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Right.
so, you know, coming in the first year, I think I showed that I wanted it. You know what I mean? I wasn't just there to like mess around and drive Lamborghinis. Like I wanted to win races. And so I think that's kind of why like we just work together so well because I think me and Danny can both be kind of intense. You know what I mean? I think I put on a
Yeah.
little bit more of like a happy face outside of the car and he kind of does the same thing, but like when me and him both like it's go time, like it gets pretty intense. And so yeah, I think it's been a great experience. And yeah, now it's fun. Like I mean, 2 years ago at Laguna, I got to dice it up with him at the front of the pack, and we got this closest ever finish in Super Trofeo history, which is pretty sick, right?
Right.
Um, and it's kind of fun to be there now with essentially my mentor and mix it up with him, right? So
It's cool to see where you've come since you started Super Trofeo. But I say last year, 2025 was probably what we would call maybe a breakout year for you. You got your first overall win at Laguna, your home track there, and then we saw you get a win at Mazzano,
Mazzano,
and
yeah,
yeah, as well as do two GT4 races and end with a podium with a good friend of both of ours, Sam Paley. So kind of
yep.
talk about how 2025 was for you.
Honestly, something kind of clicked last year. Like I would say I was almost kind of a late bloomer in a way. Because like I feel like I've always kind of been somebody who's on pace, but like there's that extra 10% that it takes to get to the top, right? And or 20%. I don't know if you guys know the 80-20 rule, but it's basically like this like philosophy term or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it, but like the first 80% of like anything, like any sort of work you put in is going to get you to the front, but it's that last 20% that's so much harder to, it's the last 20% that takes 80% of the work, right? And so it
Yeah,
was really that last 20% that I had to figure out. And it was difficult, honestly. Like I really learned that I had to put my head down and like I was diving super deep into the data, like I was doing everything I can, taking my sim time really seriously and trying to learn while I'm on the simulator rather than just running laps. And so it's it was that last 20% of work, honestly, that took um or that last 20% that took a lot of work. And I think that's kind of what I figured out. And yeah, honestly, it really kind of shot me to the front of the grid a little bit more. Um, and also, I think just like it kind of having the right people around too, like being with Wayne Taylor Racing for a while now at that point. Like I'd kind of learned the ins and out of the car. They taught me a lot more about it, like what driving it to the limits really about. Yeah, and then with the GT4 racing too, like that was a pretty sick opportunity. Sam kind of last minute was like, "Hey, we need a co-driver for this race." And so it was sick to go and do that with him. And yeah, it was like it was a blast, really. That's what it was. Like I was driving. Sam's one of my best friends in racing. You know what I mean? Like I've known this
yeah.
guy for a long time. Like me and him connect super well because we come from similar backgrounds, right? Like he's a college kid. I'm a college kid. Well, he graduated already, but like we're doing similar things in life, and I think that's why we got along so well. And it's the same sort of thing. Like we speak each other's language. Like I'd get off track, I'd have my input on the car. He knew the car better than me, so he knew a lot more. But like I still, you know, was pretty in tune with it, and yeah, it was an awesome opportunity. I think had we not had a mechanical failure in Road Atlanta too, we honestly would have been on the podium there. But um, yeah, it was a pretty sweet opportunity for sure.
Is that something you
Right.
would look to see to return to maybe next year or coming years? Some more GT4 or eventually GT3?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'd love to get back in a GT4 car soon. Obviously Super Trofeo is the main priority right now. I love the team that I'm at. I don't really have any reason to leave. We're competing at the front of the field, and I think honestly, right now, I think Super Trofeo is the most competitive single make series in the US at least. And the front of that field is so um competitive, like it teaches you how to drive anything else basically, right? Because you're just competing at such a high level. That when, I went over and hopped into the GT4, it didn't make it easy, but it definitely like made it like slow. Everything was so slowed down essentially, you know what I mean? Because you come
Yeah.
from such a competitive field and such a fast car that you have to learn how to drive that thing fast, and you hop on a GT4 and it's kind of like, oh, okay, you got more time to think when you're going down the straightaways and stuff like that, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I'd love to be back in a GT4 soon for sure. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm just kind of waiting for my opportunity, but um, yeah, I don't know. Looking forward to it if something arises for sure. Oh, just call me.
Whoops.
Somebody called me. Do I need to restart that segment or no?
I can edit it in or you can restart it. It's up to you.
Okay. No, it's a yeah, just I guess edit it then. I kind of forgot what I was saying. So, anyways,
Um, oh no, I kind of lost my train.
Here, I
Um,
got you, Wyman.
all right.
So kind of like how you were saying with the GT4, it's much more slowed down than a Super Trofeo Lamborghini. Is it kind of, I wouldn't really say confusing, but kind of like, okay, it's time to sit here and readjust on the first lap or so whenever you get back in a Super Trofeo after being in that GT4 because it's like, okay, everything happens faster now, so it's time to adjust.
yes and no. Honestly, like it's a different sensation that you get in the car for sure. But at the end of the day, it's still a race car, right? Like that's kind of the way I looked at it because I had never driven the GT4 at all when I showed up to Virginia for that race. And so like at first I like the first session I was way off pace for sure. And just kind of figuring things out. But then the second session I was kind of like, what am I doing? Like it's a race car. You know what I mean? Like you just
Yeah,
no matter what it is, you have to drive it to the limit. You just got to figure out where that limit's at, right?
Right.
And so it's kind of the same mentality when I got back into the Super Trofeo too. Like I know the Super Trofeo much better. It's kind of like my home now, basically, inside of a race car. So that transition going back to it was way easier for sure. But I still did kind of get like a smile on my face when I was going down the straightaway in it again because I was like, holy, I forgot how fast this thing is. Um, and so, yeah, it is kind of a transition that you do have to think about. But I try and not to overcomplicate things for myself because I think when you do that and you start to get in your own head, and that's not a place you want to be. You just want to hop in the race car and do it. And I think honestly, credit to Danny again, like he kind of has that mentality and I've kind of seen it out of him and it's all the best drivers in the world really are like that. Like it's just a car. Just get it in a drive. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Right.
um yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you think it helped being at a track that you were already a little familiar with from your open wheel days, going to and making your first GT4 race there instead of being thrown into a track you had never seen before?
Yeah, 100% for sure. I mean, it drives completely different than like an open wheel car or anything like that. But at least knowing what corner's coming up next definitely helps a lot, right? I didn't have to like learn the track in the first session or anything and be like, okay, what's coming up next? Um, but definitely it just makes it way easier when you're knowing what to expect next, basically, knowing where the passing zones are and stuff like that too. Which definitely helped because we fell back to like 20th or something at one point during that race, so I had to like claw my way back up. Um, but yeah, so it definitely helps, but it's a in terms of driving it, it's different. You know what I mean? Like brake
Yeah.
references, how much speed you can carry, everything like that. But yeah, I mean any seat time at any track is always going to help, no matter what it is, really.
You know,
Right.
as we look ahead in 2026, it's been a good year for you. Sebring, we started off the year with a double podium finish. Laguna, we got a win and then a fourth place, and it's been a fighting year because you've had the TR3 with Earl or of Will Bamber. They've been strong, but he's moved over to X09. As you look towards the rest of the season, do you think that brings it kind of into like a three-horse race into the championship this year? And what's it going to take to win the championship, you think?
Um, I think it's going to take a lot of hard work, honestly. That's what it comes down to. And so, I think it's going to be like one of the toughest seasons I've honestly had before because I think it's just going to be a brawl for the championship, really. Especially now with Bamber switching to a different team. I think that kind of changes everything in terms of how the championship like looks. Because I originally like there's some people that are definitely up front, but I felt like it was kind of going to be a dogfight between us and the 29 car. Um, but now that he's in a different car. He's a very fast driver, and then the new driver in the 29 car is very fast as well. And then Elias is obviously very fast too. I think it's going to be a real fight, honestly, between us three. And honestly, I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I think honestly, having a third car kind of mixes things up a little bit more because, hopefully now instead of just swapping first and seconds and stuff like that, now you got people mixing it up at the front a little bit more, right? So I think it's going to come down really to consistency. It's going to be who can finish second place when it's not their day to win the race, essentially, between us three, right? So, um, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm ready. I think it's just going to be putting my head down, lots of hard work, not only for me, but from the team as well. So, um, yeah, bring it on. Honestly, I'm ready.
Awesome. That's a good way to look at the rest of the season is Watkins Glen is just here in about 2 weeks.
Yeah, not my strongest track typically, but we're figured out. I'm heading over to do testing in a week, so it'd be good to get some seat time in the car there. I haven't been there too many times, but funny enough, that was actually my first Super Trofeo race was at Watkins Glen, so
Right.
hopefully that'll pay off having that little extra seat time there. But yeah, I don't know. Looking forward to it. We'll see what happens there.
Right. And like you say, obviously, you got a fast 29 car in your series, but you also got a fast 29 car in your little brother. So, I mean, you got to keep up with that. So, how's it kind of been for you to mentor to Ryan, or is there any mentorship there? And kind of how can you mentor to him going to Watkins Glen for his first time ever, to my knowledge?
Really, I kind of try and stay out of his way. Like I give him the advice when he wants it, but I don't want to like kind of be like overseeing his entire racing career or anything like that. Like he's a great driver. He's got it figured out. I don't really need to be like, trying to micromanage him at all. So like I'm just there for advice whenever he needs it. But I don't want to be getting in his way, you know what I mean? I think it's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing like a lot of drivers, they're like it's the same thing as like if your dad's coaching you or something like that, you don't always want to listen to your dad or like, you don't know what you're talking about. And especially like when we were younger and stuff like that, it was, that sort of thing. I think now that we're older, we get along way better and he kind of realizes like, oh, Nick might actually know what he's talking about a little bit. But I also kind of realized like I wouldn't want somebody like trying to coach me either, especially if I was like an older brother or something like that. So I kind of let him do his thing. He's got his own coaches, his own mechanics. It's a completely different car. I don't really know that car too well, other than I've driven the GT4, which is, kind of similar. But um, yeah, I kind of try and stay out of his way unless he wants advice, right? So, he's killing it. There's nothing really I can do to help him, right? He's just got to figure it out on his own.
Right. It's like you say, the teenagers, I'm one of them myself, so I can't really be talking. We only want help whenever we want it. We don't want it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's if I'm trying to coach him every single second, he's just gonna get pissed at me. You know what I mean? He's not
Yeah.
Hmm.
he's not gonna want to hear it. So, yeah, I just offer my advice when I like either really think he needs it or if he's asking for it. You know what I mean? So, and it's I try and do it in like the least invasive way possible. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to like be completely getting in his racing business, but I think every once in a while it definitely helps for sure. And there's honestly even times where he's given me advice. You know what I mean? He's a smart race car driver. Like he can see things on the track too that sometimes I don't see in my own racing, right? Like if he's at a track watching and he sees somebody with a different like corner approach or something like that than me, then he'll offer up like some advice to me too, right? So yeah, I think it's a good relationship, and I think we kind of have a good balance essentially of like, when to be sharing information and then also kind of just when to do our own thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think coming up this really don't help getting some opportunity to test the car. This is gonna be his first test session, so I think just getting that extra laps instead of getting thrown in the first practice, trying to figure out what's going on with the car and all, it's really gonna be beneficial to him. It essentially gives him an extra session that he can kind of get back into the rhythm a lot smoother.
Yeah, I think it'll help a lot. Like he's never tested that car at all before. He's just shown up to the race and jumped in it, which has been difficult because like kind of like we talked about last time, like he in go-karting, you have to go to every single weekend before the race and you're doing all this testing and everything like that. And like he kind of got used to that. And then when he came over to the cars, he was like, this is weird. Like I don't just get to drive all the time. Well, yeah, because it costs like a couple $1 million a year if you wanted to drive every single weekend, right? Um, but anyways, yeah, it's been honestly good for him though to learn how to just jump in and drive. And now that he's done that, I think having a test weekend ahead of time too is going to help him a bunch. So, hopefully he does well at Watkins.
Right. And like you say, obviously. Now looking forward to your plans. I mean, kind of set out like I guess you could say 5, 6 or so, 10 maybe year
Yeah,
plan
your
out for
goal. Yeah.
where you want to be at.
I mean, I want to be in IMSA, like driving GT3 cars. That's the goal. I think that's probably everybody's goal at my level right now is to try and break into there. I think, Lamborghini's got a great program. They have the young driver program that helps bring drivers through and everything like that. So, I think, I'll kind of keep just chasing that dream really. And I think the best way to do that is just to win races. So, I'm going to try and win this championship this year and just keep adding to the resume essentially, you know what I mean?
Right.
End of this year, get to go to Monza for the World Finals, and then get to do some testing to Temerario. How exciting is that? And then, just build on that point that, it's great to see a manufacturer that's so invested into the racing side of program.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll actually be able to drive the Temerario. I don't know when we're getting the cars. I think they're kind of waiting to like make sure everybody's getting the cars at the same time just to keep it fair for everybody.
Yeah.
Which I love. I think that's a great, um planning, honestly, like by Lambo is like you don't want to give people massive advantage by giving them the cars like way before everybody else or something like that. So I don't know when we'll get to drive the car. I'm assuming sometime this winter. Um, and then yeah, Monza, I'm looking forward to it. Like that's such a historic track, right? Like I'm already kind of like picturing myself standing on that podium. Like, dude, that's where so many
How about
famous
that?
Formula One drivers have stood. Like, it's kind of going to be a surreal moment. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
Then it kind of
yeah,
adds a
I'm
little bit of
excited
pressure
for it.
because your best friend stood on it too.
Yeah, I know, right? Now, yeah, I gotta. He got second though, so if I can get first, I'm gonna say I stood one position higher than him. So,
But yeah, like you say, we want to thank you for coming on and doing this again. I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties last time, but like you
yeah,
say,
yeah,
glad you were able
yeah.
to come
Sorry
on.
about
And
that. Yeah,
no, you're good. I mean, I'd rather not get you in trouble with anything. So,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, we want to thank you again for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
No,
Absolutely.
thank you guys. It's been a pleasure.
But
Hopefully catch up with you later this year. I
Yeah,
wish y'all had a
definitely.
longer season, did some more other races too. I know
Yeah,
I'm not complaining.
I think we're trying to work on some stuff. I'd love to find a GT4 ride if I could. It's just that series is honestly gotten quite expensive to run is the only thing. So, it makes it difficult to try and find a decent ride. But yeah, it's I'm looking to drive honestly whatever I can get in. But at the same time, super focused on the Super Trofeo Championship right now. I think that's the main priority. I want to go out there and win. So yeah, just you know, I'll take whatever comes my way though. You know what I mean? I'll drive whatever.
right.
No better way to look at it there.
Is that
But
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, sounds good. If you guys got anything else too, let me know. I can always hop on a Zoom later. So
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely will. I was kind of waiting on Wyman to wrap it up there, but
Oh,
no, all
I thought
good.
we
Yeah,
kind of
sorry
already
about
did.
last time.
That's all
no,
right
you're
there.
good, man.
No, I enjoy it. We, just talked some racing. It was a good time there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
But
it's neat seeing, an inside perspective of what goes on. I know it's easy to talk about, racing like just me and Jordan because me and him raced, but we haven't been racing as or haven't been in the car. Me and him both go karters and hadn't been in it in a while, so it's neat to kind of
it's probably about 7 or 8 years since I've
at least,
actually
yeah.
sat down in
I
one.
It was still high school for me when I still did it.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't been in a go-kart in a long time too. I don't know if you guys like saw my Instagram or anything. Like I got in a go-kart for the first time in like 2 years, a couple days ago, and I was like I forgot how physical go-karting is and also how fun it is too. So I
Right.
don't know. It's good fun.
It was kind of neat when we did it with Ryan last week talking. He was a multi-sport athlete, kind of like me and Jordan. I played football and soccer,
Hmm.
and so
What'd you
it was
play in
always
football?
I was a kicker.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
played in high school too, honestly, for a little bit. I played D line, or defensive end, and then I played a little bit of hockey growing up. So that's why I was messing around playing some hockey earlier today, actually. But
Oh yeah. I was more of the baseball and basketball type of guy, but I
okay,
wasn't the greatest at
nice.
basketball.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
I'm not good at anything other than racing, to be honest with you. But
I like that. You know, what's the way I'm put it? There's so much emphasis on getting out there and getting into conditioning and being in shape and everyone hated everybody hated the summer workouts running, but I liked it because afterwards it put me in a better shape knowing when you get into the cart that
oh yeah,
kind of gave you a little better advantage because
for sure. Honestly, like some of the most in shape I've been in my life was during like summer football practice and stuff like that. When I was a
exactly.
senior in high school, I was in such good shape when I got in a race car. It was pretty crazy.
I really wish that more people understood that that racing is so more physical than what it was and just
Oh
being in
yeah.
shape
Yeah.
means so much because you look at some of the people now that aren't, they're all in a pretty good shape, but some of them after the race, are really having to go get IVs and are passing out. And the ones that are really
Yeah.
in shape are able to, get out the car and be able to, walk back to the holler or something.
Yeah, I mean I've been there before at Watkins Glen last year. I like overheated in the car and that was kind of like a wake up call for me that I had to like get in serious shape. And I was running solo last year. Driving a Lamborghini for almost an hour solo is not easy. So yeah, it's pretty crazy how physically fit you have to be to like drive one of these cars and not only just drive it but like maintain your focus at such a high level while you're doing it, right? So it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and especially in something like that that's going, y'all are topping out in what, like 180, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, like we don't get any time to breathe on the straightaway, you know what I mean? So
You shall fly down them, and then by the time you do have a breath, you're braking to get into the next corner.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a gnarly car to drive for sure, especially like the physicality of it.
I really wish that y'all would have some more races a little more
I do
south.
too.
I know Road Atlanta would be kind of difficult for those cars, especially the downhill, but I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, no, Road Atlanta would be a sick track. I don't, yeah, same thing though. Like, I don't know if that downhill, that'd be a little sketchy in these things for
Yeah,
sure, because we don't really have the downforce for that.
I don't know about Daytona.
I
Daytona,
think they've been to Daytona to test them before. I don't know if they've actually had a race there. I think
I
we'd
didn't know
probably
if
be
they
going too
tested.
fast.
Yeah. I don't think what else is around here. Barber, kind of same
Barber would
thing.
be
Road
fun.
Atlanta.
I really wish they'd go back to Coda. They did that a couple years ago. That
Yeah,
was such a fun track for sure. That's like one of my favorite tracks, honestly.
and that was cool being a part of support the WEC.
Yeah, super cool, super cool.
Trying to think where else is cool or where else they could go. I'm surprised they haven't done a street circuit for y'all yet, because
Yeah, something like Long Beach would be pretty cool too.
I
I
would
know
like
it's a
to see that.
packed weekend for them, but something like maybe Detroit would be cool too. Something like that. I don't know.
Maybe Washington. They haven't said any of the support or if they don't have any support races for Washington
Yeah, that'd be a
for the
cool
Indy
one too.
cars. Yeah, I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I'm not the craziest about the street circuits though.
I love it. I love street circuits. Go-karting
I
when
Really?
we'd have street circuit races, loved it. Because if you
Oh,
make
y'all
a
had
mistake,
street
you're in the
circuit races
wall.
in karting?
Yeah, there was one I did growing up. It was called the Streets of Lancaster. It's not around anymore, but like that was the coolest event of the year because you're
Oh
racing down
wow.
like the like main boulevard in Lancaster, and so many like people were there watching the race, and it was a go-kart race, and it was just fun because like you make a mistake, you're in the wall. You know what I
I'm
mean?
about to
So
look that up.
I just think, yeah, honestly, go look it up. It's a sick race. And yeah, like I think like tracks that kind of punish you like that in a way are so much fun because you have to learn how to drive it to like 99%.
Yeah.
Because if you go over 100%, you're in the wall, you know what I mean? So I think that'd be fun for sure. I don't know if we'd I don't know how much green flag racing we would get, but it would definitely be fun.
I think it'd be pretty cool. I know some of those like the pro-am classes in there, they get a little dicey and
Yeah,
step over the line though, but I think it'd be pretty cool. And there's a lot of good street circuits. I mean, you got St. Pete. I think that'd be a
yeah,
pretty good one.
that'd be a cool one for sure. I don't
Uh,
know. I'll have to ask some people, see what the deal is, and see if we can get one of those going.
that'd be cool. That'd be cool. There's
Oh
some cool
yeah.
tracks I think y'all could hit up around.
Yeah, yeah. I'll put the word out to somebody. I don't know. I don't know if I have any say at all in that. I don't probably. Actually, I definitely don't, but I'll plant the idea in somebody's head maybe.
We'll see what we can get rolling there.
You
Yeah.
you find the right person, you find the right tracks too, and then
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah. Anyways, we want to thank you again for coming
Yeah.
on and
No,
all
thank
that.
you
Big,
guys.
And
big thanks, Nick.
Yeah. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah,
see
we'll
ya.
hopefully see you later this year.
Yep. Have a good one.
You
You
too. We'll see
too.
you later.